Ascending is both costly and risky, but every bit worth it. It's what we're called to do. As leaders, this means that you will give up some of your best people, divest yourself of precious resources, and exert emotional energy into seeing something flourish somewhere else. But we do so because Christ has told us to invest what he gave us, to send it out into the field so that it can multiply. Jesus gave us what he gave us so that we could create greater return for his kingdom, not so that we can have more to sit on for ourselves. This inevitably will mean that vital ministry leaders who catch the vision of multiplication will be the ones to often say yes. Volunteers, donors, elders, all of these are on the table to go, and their absences will leave gaps. But our belief is in a God who has provided for us before, and he most certainly can do it again. And to keep our churches healthy and focused on the mission, we cannot afford not to keep planting churches. So prepare for the leadership turnover. It will happen at times and in ways that you don't expect or even want. We don't usually do it when the pews are necessarily full or debts are paid. No, we emphatically church plant because it is the best primary pastoral and evangelistic strategy in the world to see people reached. And like Adoniram Judson said, there is no success without sacrifice. So how do we prepare for that now? Have a plan in place before a leader departs for where the church future leaders will come from. When we hold our hands loosely and watch leaders go, it creates opportunities for new leaders to step up. This in turn will actually help us produce more leaders in the long term. But what's the secret sauce? You ready for it? I'll tell you, it's discipleship. That's right. Not that hard. Discipleship. It starts with the identifying making disciples in your church who are getting after the kingdom of God. It means identifying men and women for future church plants currently in your churches with whom we see the hand of God upon and start developing their character and their competencies. This is something you can start right now. Side note, yes, they will likely have some areas that they still need to grow. So do we. Like self-awareness and vision casting, better listening skills, conflict management. But you start finding people who are proactive in disciple making, and it's a really good place to start. Be committed to discipling young leaders and fostering their growth in knowledge, character, vision, and ministry skills. And it doesn't always have to be the entrepreneurial type. I have seen a graveyard of churches who elevated charisma over character, and it is heartbreaking. Leaders, look for character, integrity, humility, gentleness. God is calling pastors and shepherds to the flocks, and the good news is that he has promised that he will build his church. Isn't that the best news? He will build it, not us. And he isn't building our church. He is building his. It is a beautiful promise. 9 times out of 10, what derails a church planter has nothing to do with the particulars of how to plant the church, but usually the planter fails in character or leadership or simply lacks the skills to simply grow the church. So if it helps, think of it this way: 45% disciple making, 45% leadership development, and 10% the church planting skills you can find resources on from great networks like NAM. So this is where we start in developing people. Get around those leaders to fan into flame the gift of God that he has given to them. Practically speaking, you can create an intern and/or apprenticeship program. Interns can be immersed in the ministry opportunities of the church in conjunction with personal ministry passion. And yes, the demands are high. The commitment level is demanding. You will need to provide mentorship by a personal ministry coach. Start instilling general competencies in this farm system of developing leaders that allows you to elevate them to a new role quickly. Take risks. And follow 2 Timothy 2:2, that what we heard in the presence of many witnesses, we should entrust to faithful men who will be able to teach others also. If you aren't ready for a full apprenticeship program, you can start with asking leaders to start mentoring other future leaders. Have accountability. Create an expectation that the current leaders that are mentoring others and look in these mentor relationships for the next group of leaders, and then hold people accountable to this. And when they say yes to go, get ready. It can be hard, but I promise you, leader, it is a worthy work. And this is exciting. And speaking of excitement, don't forget to celebrate. Commission publicly. You replicate what you celebrate. Be excited with and for the exiting leader, all the while empowering the next leader. Now, one last hard part. Keep calling your team to come and die. Keep being willing to let go. Protect your heart from discouragement with the work of finding new leaders, and instead see it as vital to the overall equipping work of the church and a means by which you can encourage others to know and use their gifts. Our hands can start to tighten around people, and we need to be willing to let them go. When it is hard, encourage one another daily in the Lord, that one day in his eternal kingdom, we will celebrate together the harvest that came because we were willing to part for a little while to do the work of the Great Commission.